Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending the Agco Virtual Job Fair event. I would like to introduce you to Kelly. Kelly will tell you about her company, job openings, and how to apply for those openings. Kelly?
Hi, welcome. We're glad to have you here. We're excited to tell you about all of the manufacturing opportunities that are available to you in our Assumption, Illinois facility. And we'll just start by giving you just a brief overview of who we are and how we sort of came to be. We actually fall under the Agco Grain and Protein division, and we've got a pretty unique story to tell. We go ahead and play the next slide. Things we're going to cover today include who we are, how we sort of came to be. I'll talk about all of the Assumption plant business units that are here in our facility. We'll go over all of the types of manufacturing positions we offer in our facility. And then we'll go a little further into what positions are open right now and all the job info details. And we'll give you the info on how to apply for those jobs afterwards. Next slide. So, pretty unique story to tell. Agco Corporation purchased the GSI Group, that might be how you formally know us, as the GSI Group, back in December of 2011. So Agco is considered our parent company, stands for Your Agricultural Company. Agco is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, making them a Fortune 500 company, and us as a facility underneath that umbrella, a Fortune 300 company. They were founded in 1990. It made perfect sense that Agco acquired the GSI Group. Agco was almost a full-fledged ag-based business offering everything that you would need to run your farm, from tractors to combines to hay tools and everything in between. One part of the business that they did not own prior to our acquisition was grain bins. So with the acquisition of the GSI Group, they became a full-service ag-based business. Agco agricultural products are sold under the core brands of GSI, which is what we make and build and manufacture here in the Assumption facility. But we also build tractors for Challenger, Fendt, Massey Ferguson, and Valtra, distributed globally in over 2,600 independent dealers and distributed in more than 140 countries worldwide. So those pictures that you see on the side there, those are just examples and products that we make. So our division is called the Agco Grain and Protein Team, and we work with those 5 big business brands that you see in that banner ad at the bottom. In our Assumption facility, we are the largest grain and protein facility. And this slide here, just kind of go back one more. This slide here breaks down those 5 business units and how they all fit into their individual silos. So every piece that we touch on the manufacturing floor here in Assumption falls under that grain, seed, and nutrients column. They're all pieces that belong to a GSI grain bin. But we do have executives and dealers and customer service reps who work with our swine AP brand and our poultry Cumberland and techno commercial egg laying businesses. Next slide. Bringing it back home here to the Assumption facility, there's really 5 major business units that work within our manufacturing shop floor. The biggest team is the fabrication team, and that's the team that actually feeds pieces and parts to all of those other business units so that they can complete an actual grain bin. All types of machines underneath that position, including brake machines, amadas, lasers, shear machines. There is some powder coat welding, painting, and assembly in that cell as well. The main job is the fab team is to transform those coils of flat sheets of steel into different parts that supply other business units with the piece that they would need to build their grain bin. Second biggest business team we have is the grain team. Also a lot of machine operators in that facility. They do bin line machines, roof punches. They handle all of the sidewalls, the floors, the roofs, ladders, and everything needed for that grain bin. Third biggest business team we have in the Assumption facility is our conditioning team. They handle completing and building the accessories that you need to your grain bin, things that you would need to dry your corn at the end of your season. So they assemble and test those portable dryers, and they ship all of those parts out to the field for the farmers to then build on site there. Another business unit we have here in the Assumption facility is our North Building team. It's a very creative name because they're located all the way on the north end of our facility. They handle a lot of the welding pieces in that facility. Last team that makes up all of our business units is our materials team, and they're really comprised of our shipping team, our materials team, and our warehouse team. They've got 4 basic functions. They order all of the material that we need for our facility. They put all of that material away in an internal warehouse. We have material handlers who then take that material from that warehouse to any other business unit that needs it. And then once all of those business units have completed their pieces to the grain bin, they get sent out to shipping where they are loaded on trucks and sent out to customers. So here in our Assumption facility, you'll find a variety of manufacturing positions, everything from your entry-level assembly to material handling. We do sit-down, stand-up fork trucks. We do all of our certifications here on site, so we can teach you to drive and operate those lifts. We have machine operators, we have welders. Once you've been here a while and you become familiar with our product, we have product techs, we have team leads, production supervisors, senior managers out on the shop floor. We have an in-house quality team that has a quality assurance techs and engineers. We have maintenance techs and engineers and production control coordinators that also help get that product out. 3 available shifts in the Assumption, Illinois facility. We operate our largest shift on first shift. Our 8-hour day is from 7 to 3:30, but during our busy season, let's say we're busy when farmers are busy, March through October, we do work a lot of overtime. We try to talk overtime onto the beginning of the shift so that people are still out of here at their normal clock out times. We do work some Saturdays when production demand calls for it as well. Second shift runs from 3 p.m. to 11. Their overtime would also start at the beginning of their shift. And then right now we operate 3 different third shift teams to help with that second shift to third shift crossover, that third shift to first shift crossover, making sure every team is aware of what they did on the previous shift. So we work 7 p.m. to 5:30, 10:30 to 7, or 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. on those third shifts, just depending on the business unit that you're in. We do try to work every other Saturday overtime schedules when production demand is high. You can call our busy season March through October. We'll see a lot of 10-hour and 12-hour days, so you'll see a lot of overtime here in Assumption. In that off season, November to February, rather than doing layoffs, we build product inventory in that off season so that we can keep all of our staff working. Next slide. Here's where we're going to talk about all of our open positions that we currently have. You're going to see a variety of them on our website, and you will see them listed just like they're listed in that very first bullet point. It'll have a job title with the letter A and a number followed by it. That's how you know it's our Assumption position. We have machine operator positions open on the fab team. They've got first and third shift positions available. And really the main function of that team is to take all of that flat sheets of steel and fabricate it into a specific part needed. In that department, you're going to have to know how to use your basic hand tools, tape measures, reading blueprints. And when we say blueprints, we mean a very simple form of a blueprint. I don't mean things like a construction type blueprint or anything like that. They're just basically instruction type sheets. Pay range on that position for machine operators starts at $17 an hour here in Assumption. And as you learn more of your machines in your department, you're eligible to level test up. And that has a current salary range all the way up to $21.50 right now. All of our off shift positions, second shift or third shift, doesn't matter the title, will come with a $1 shift differential for working an off shift as well. Other positions we have open include material handling positions. They're available in several of our business units, including our fab and our shipping teams, and they also have several first and third shift positions available. Our material handlers receive, store, and distribute all of our material, storing it either in a warehouse or taking it out to shipping to be shipped on a customer order. We drive sit-down lifts, stand-up lifts. We have combi lifts. We also have small tuggers. They kind of look like a golf cart almost, taking material from one department to another. We do all of our qualifications and certifications here on site for your fork truck certification. So we follow all of the OSHA forklift training requirements, and we get you guys certified within your first few weeks here so that you can get on those trucks and start moving that material. We do have some handheld scanners that we scan material in and out so that we know what's in our warehouse and what is left to order. Material handling positions, also entry-level type positions. They start at $13.50, but again, depending on your experience and the amount of lifts that you can drive, we will, our current pay range goes up to $21 an hour as well for that position. Next slide. Assembly positions are really entry-level positions. They do have some levels as well in that department. Several business units have assembly positions opening, including our grain and conditioning teams. Almost all of our assembly positions are first shift positions, and the assembler really just assembles and packages parts needed to build that grain bin. So nuts, bolts, any kind of accessory pieces you can think of that they would need handles it. All of those things are handled differently in every different business unit. They need to use some basic hand tools, screwdrivers, wrenches, crimpers, that kind of thing. We do use some power tools, cordless drills, screwdrivers, and things in some of those assembly areas. Basic skills, reading blueprints again, being able to follow directions and build a piece to print. Pay ranges on our assembly positions, again, entry level starts at $13.50, but based on experience, and the more you know, can go up to $21 an hour right now as well. We do have several welding positions open as well as in our North Building team. Those are all primarily first shift positions as well. We primarily weld MIG. There is some galvanized welding as well. We do use respirators and cappers, and we get all of our welders trained and certified to use that equipment here once they're on site. We do prefer that welders come in with some previous welding experience. And our current pay ranges on welders start at $20.50. And again, as you learn more in the area and become cross-trained, it goes up to $24 an hour currently. I have some high-level positions open in my Assumption facility as well. I'm currently looking for a team lead for the maintenance team for third shift. There are some requirements to the maintenance team there to be a lead, 2 years progressive responsibilities in some sort of manufacturing environment, solid grasp of manufacturing concepts and methods and techniques, including assembly, welding, machining, painting, and other related manufacturing methods. I have an hourly pay range right now starting at $25 up to $35, depending on your experience for that position. Next slide. We have a production control coordinator open on our materials team, and they're really responsible for making sure that the organization is running smoothly. It's up to that production control coordinator to schedule and coordinate the flow of material from all different levels of our organization. They help us achieve all of our inventory goals. There is some certifications required for that position, use of computer systems, including Excel and Access. That position is a salary position, right now has a range of $45 to $55, depending on your experience. I think I have one more slide open. I have a manufacturing engineer position opening on my continuous improvement team. That's a first shift position. That team is there to develop, implement, and improve all of our processes in order to maintain proper product functionality, as well as a cost efficiency. There are some requirements to that position as well, with experience in design of manufacturing equipment, tooling, and handling systems. There is some experience with 2D and 3D modeling systems needed using AutoCAD. That position right now has a salary range of $50 to $70K, depending on experience as well. All of these positions you just heard about are full-time positions. Every one of them comes with full-time benefits, and all of our full-time associates become eligible on the first of the month following 30 days of service. We offer coverage for spouse and or dependent children as well within those first 30 days. You just need to get us some documentation, and we'll get those dependents added to your benefit plans for you. Next slide. Benefits include medical, dental, vision, 3 company paid benefits, including life insurance, AD&D, and business travel. The option to purchase supplemental life insurance and AD&D is available. We have 2 types of flexible spending accounts, but we also have an HSA, which is a health savings account that rolls over year after year. And then last but not least, we offer a 401k savings plan with a company match at 4.5%. How to apply for all of these positions. Every position we talked about will be on our company website right now. You just have to visit our careers page at agcocorp.com. You'll see a careers tab at the top, and you can search by location specifically if you're looking for Assumption or Taylorville or Paris, Illinois, or if you're in Bremen, Alabama, and you're interested in working down there, you can search specifically by that location as well. And that is everything that we have for you. We are open to questions and anything else you'd like to know about our company.
Fantastic. Thank you for that presentation, Kelly. And as Kelly just stated, if you do have any questions for the Agco team regarding any of the material that was presented here, please feel free to enter it into the chat. And of course, we'll get those questions answered for you as soon as possible. Kelly, I do have some general questions that I would like to ask you if you do have a moment.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So can you give folks an idea how long the hiring process typically takes? What's turnaround time look like?
For most of our hourly positions, we like to do a turnaround time in about 2 weeks from the time they apply to the time they hear back after their interview or an offer is extended. We do allow for any associate or future team member to give a 2-week notice to their current employer. And if they need to extend past that, we can work with them on start dates and everything like that. If you are not working and you are available to start ASAP, we do have new hires start every Monday.
Awesome. Excellent information. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, next question that I have for you is, are there any sort of educational requirements that folks need to possess to apply for any of these positions that you covered here today?
For our hourly manufacturing shop positions, it's a high school diploma or a GED.
Excellent. This next question that I have for you is pretty standard on most of my events, but nonetheless, we'll go ahead and ask it, even though we might be on the other side of it. The question is, how are you handling COVID safety precautions? Are you offering any sort of alternative interviewing methods like, virtual interviews and such, things of that nature?
We update our COVID playbook anytime there is a new regulation given to us by OSHA. We do have masks that we can make available to employees. They're welcome to bring their own masks from home. We do temperature taking when you walk in our building as well. We also we work with Microsoft Teams, so we can do virtual interviews and all of those things as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. And Kelly, we did receive a question in the chat. If you could just walk this individual through what this process might look like. They ask, is there a way I can interview next week?
If it's for any of those positions that we talked about, all of those positions are open. And as soon as you get your application into our website, I will have all of your contact information that I can reach out to you and get you scheduled for an interview.
And Kelly, that actually brings up another good question that I do have. How can applicants get their questions answered? If they run into any snags or just have any general inquiries about Agco or the positions you covered here today, what would be the best way about getting those answered?
You can email me directly.
Excellent. And Kelly, when you do have a moment, could you enter that information into the chat?
Sure can.
Excellent. Thank you. And we did receive another question here in the chat as well, Kelly. This individual asks, are there any positions in your installation department internationally? I mean, installation of your equipment on a customer's site.
Most of that stuff, this is Sarah Benagas, I'm the HR manager. Most of the time, what we are doing is selling to a dealer, not truly to the end customer. So there is very few things that we actually go onto a site and install. At least here in the US, I can say that. At that same careers.agcocorp.com website, you can find any opening that we have around the world.
Yep.
So those would all be available as well. And there's some pretty easy search bars that you could use to find that information. But for the most part, the installation is done by a dealer of ours.
Understood. Thank you for that. And I know Kelly did briefly cover kind of what the shift structure, looks like at Agco. The question that I have following up on that is, are there any particular shifts that you all are seeking to hire for more than others?
At the moment, I don't have any second shift positions open. That's usually a shift that we struggle with. It's a very small skeleton crew on our second shift here in the Assumption facility. There are only 2 business units that actually run all 3 shifts. So right now, I would say my highest priority is third shift, then followed by my first shift open positions.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Kelly. Kelly, just another question that I have for you that's kind of standard, but might give folks a leg up in the application process. Can you provide any sort of insight on how a candidate might be able to stand out and get an interview with the organization? Anything they should include? maybe in a resume or something that they should speak about during an interview?
So in our application process, you have the option to just fill out the application and not upload a resume. But if you only include one small brief work history, it doesn't give our hiring managers a whole lot of info to go off of as to why they would want to bring you into an interview. So I always encourage applicants to always upload a resume, even if it's brief and it lists work that you did for a family member or time that you spent off being a stay-at-home parent or anything like that. Anything that helps build that timeline of your work history is very helpful to our hiring managers. So I would definitely say include a resume, even if it's not very long or detailed, or you feel it's not bulked up enough. Any information helps pass along to our hiring managers, helps you get an interview.
Excellent information. Thank you for that, Kelly. And Kelly, the next question that I do have for you is more so in regards to maybe some of those manual labor type of positions that you covered, but it's actually one that I receive frequently on my events. The question is, does Agco provide any sort of clothing allowances for folks, say like boots or steel toe boots, shirt, pants, things of that nature?
So we do a boot allowance once a year for all of our full-time members every spring. And as long as you're on full-time by the time that that's paid out, you are eligible for that. There's no waiting period on that. We also offer a uniform service. Employees can sign up for Cintas uniforms here, and the deductions just come out through their payroll. They're washed and laundered by Cintas, so an employee doesn't have to take their dirty jeans or anything with steel pieces on it home to their own washer and dryer. And then we also try to order as many just fun company t-shirts and things of that nature throughout the calendar year so that our team members do have clothing that they can wear and it's not their personal things that they're getting dirty.
Excellent. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, the next question that I have for you is, again, kind of one that comes up frequently. The question is, would folks that maybe have minor, misdemeanors or other small criminal offenses, would they be ineligible to apply for any of the positions that you covered here today?
No, part of our hiring process does include a pre-employment screening for a drug screen, a physical, and an audiogram. And then we also do a pre-employment background check. But those are all reviewed offsite by corporate. We don't have any control here on site, whether someone passes a background check or anything like that. I would not discourage anyone who has anything on their record from applying.
Agco is very prone to give people, a second chance. So
yes,
it's been a very rare occasion where we've had someone not pass our background check. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Thank you both for that information. And it looks like we did receive another question in the chat. This individual asks, is there a sign-on bonus for maybe any of the positions that you covered here today?
So for those hourly shop floor positions this year, we do have a retention bonus for all of our new hires. If you come on and stay with us for 1 year, you earn a $2,000 retention bonus, and it's paid out throughout the calendar year. It's paid out at a 3-month mark, a 6-month mark, and then your 1 year. You'll see the final payment. Once you've been here for a year, you transition from that retention bonus into our gain sharing program as a full-time employee, so that you have a stake in the game as to how we produce each year.
Excellent. Thank you for that information, Kelly. I do want to take a brief pause here and just remind folks that are on the call, if you do have any final questions that you want to ask the Agco team, now would be the time. Please don't hesitate to do so. In the meantime, Kelly, while we await those last few questions that might come in, I do have a final question for you. That question is, what are the opportunities for advancement at Agco, and are there any particular success stories you might like to share with folks on the line?
So all of our positions, the assembler, material handler, machine operators, they can all start entry level, and they all go up to almost to level 4, and that's a very experienced, fully cross-trained team member. From there, we have opportunities for you to become a team lead, to become a production supervisor, or to become a senior production business unit manager. All of those are a very natural progression in our shop floor. We always try to promote from within any opportunity that we get. So I would say there's a lot of opportunity for those shop floor positions for career advancement.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Does not look like we have got any additional questions in the chat. So Kelly, I'd like to provide you with one more opportunity to make any sort of summary statements, concluding remarks, maybe highlight something you covered today or include something that maybe you overlooked during your presentation. You can do so now.
There's nothing big I can think of. I highly encourage anyone who's interested, get out onto that website, do some exploring, apply to as many positions as you want on that careers page. Each one of those positions will ultimately go to a different hiring manager for review. So you just want to get your name and your resume out into as many people as possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that information, Kelly. I want to go ahead and give a huge thanks to the Agco team for joining us today and carving time out of their schedules to join us and share all the information that they have regarding open positions. Of course, we will also want to thank job seekers that are on the call. Thank you again for joining the session here today. Kelly did drop her email address into the chat, so please feel free to reach out to her with any questions that you might have. I do also want to state that this webinar has been recorded and it will be uploaded to the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel later this afternoon. Thank you all for joining today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a great upcoming weekend.
Thank you all so much. We look forward to hearing from you.